Hello everybody, Simon with Quigg Coins and Bullion here, and today I'm taking you through a massive graded world coin buy that I worked through. It came in last week, and it's actually a repeat customer, so he just dropped the coins off with me. I ran through them, priced them, gave him an offer, and he accepted, so we'll run through and talk about some of these coins. And also today I purchased 7 ounces of gold, which is crazy. You never know what's going to come in the office. We'll run through that too, along with a few other fun purchases, bits and pieces from other groups that came in the last week or so. But so far, December is looking to be a crazy start. Silver hit $58 an ounce, which is wild. So we've adjusted our prices accordingly. Basically giving you guys a discount. We want to move this product. I assume more product is going to be coming in across the counter. So we want to give you guys a deal as well as just keep the money moving. That's important to us. But let's do a bit of it here. Fun silver here. Premium silver we marked down to spot. Good amount of gold, and we'll get this pretty well filled up, I think. I don't want to ship, a lot of 7 ounces of gold is a lot of money to tie up. I don't want to have to ship much, if any, if I have to. So I'd rather give you guys a good price. We'll talk about the pricing in a moment in the video. Eagles here, selling them for $1 over. Wholesaler is gonna just offering me spots, so I figured I'll offload what I got. I got a nice bump with the cost of silver coming up, so we'll offer that to you guys for a spot plus $1. And I'm selling all the generics for $2 under. Wholesalers paying me that, so I figured I'd move that to you guys for that same price, $2 under spot. Carson City's looking good, still plenty of those there. Still 2 sets available at wholesale. Traded one person and one person purchased one. If you're interested, please reach out and we can facilitate a trade if that works for you. And with the sale, you guys tore through a good amount of inventory. We got some holes here in the case, and you guys picked through and bought a good amount of stuff with what you were interested in there. Paper currency. I know there are several of you excited about the currency on the website. Just reach out and let me know if you're interested in some of that as well. Premium silver, going through it on eBay as well. Tokens, bulk stuff as well, raw stuff. Hope to have another raw video out at some point. And then as spot continues to rise, I do not update my prices, guys. So a lot of eagles in here for $60. Proof eagles or nicer stuff for a little bit over that. Morgan dollars, $50 a piece, 45 for some of the lower graded ones. That's only $1 over spot. And then you can see one commemorative for 40. Cannot beat that. Reach out to me, guys, and I'll pull it, and I'll just take electronic payment on that kind of stuff. And of course, all the other odds and ends. But I want to show you before we dive into the close-ups. This is almost all the graded world coins. Some US mixed in here, but mostly world. The guy was a huge world collector. There's over 140 slabs here. This is just insane. I am very thankful he's come back multiple times. And we've spent a lot of money with him, and he's done well by us to keep bringing us stuff. But I'm not going to cover everything here. Just going to give you some top highlights. Some stuff is priced. Otherwise, keep an eye out on the eBay for world coins. Probably most will be auction, maybe some buy it now, but we'll just have to look at the comps. But let's dive into the close-up and show you some of this goodness now. All right, everybody, so let's dive into the close-ups here. We're going to start off with some odds and ends that I have gotten in the shop over the last few days that have not made it into one of the other videos. Some nice raw coins, some paper, some stuff that I'm going to be submitting, and then we'll dive into the gold as well as some of these other cool world coins. So let's start off with some raw coins here. These will all be available probably in the book would be the easiest way to, reach out or say, link me the video, tell me the coin that you want, or if you're local, come shop. Most of these I will not have priced out probably for at least a little bit, but I am trying to get a little more world coinage, world silver in. That is a nice, probably AU type. That's a cap and ray, 8 real from Mexico. Nice kind of one Balboa, 1947. Got a little PVC on there, but still kind of a little tougher type. I have 3 of these. I believe these are 1 piastre from Indochina. Those are pretty popular. Cannot complain about those. Some of these bolivars, kind of interesting there. And I did get some trade dollars in a nice group as well, kind of low VG fine, type 1, 77S. These are all pretty common dates. 78, kind of an AU type, little cleany, but still really nice detail on there. That's a 78S. 79, Carson City, pretty strong VF, I would believe, on something like that. 86, a little bit better date there. 99, Philly is a little better date as well. I got a 76 Carson City. This is probably pretty squarely in the fines. These are crazy, have gotten crazy expensive in the last few years. I think people are kind of coming to this market. Carson City coins that aren't dollars. This is kind of just interesting variety. Mid AU 1880. It's a micro O, and you can see that on there. And I think they probably used a something for a dime or quarter or something like that. Just different. Rung punch for that. Some fun raw coins there. Will be in the shop, available at some point, coming soon. A few things here for the website. You guys like the proof sets. 56, 55 proof, priced as marked. Those will be on the website hopefully this week. Got a nice, really nice 1891 silver certificate, $2, VF35, that's $1,600. Really just anything, you know, that's not 1899 or 1896 is just like impossible to come by for type like that. But really nice motifs on there. Good white paper, just one kind of streak down the middle. Pretty attractive on that. That'll be $1,600 on the website. I've got a few random coins that I've picked out of collections that I was able to pay the customers a little more for, and I've got them marked here G for grading. So these will be in the next submission. I'll review them there as well. But 1888, and this is an S, probably a $300-400 coin. Nice MS62, 63 surfaces there. 1878, this is a Carson City, probably in that 60 to 63-ish range again. It has a touch of PL. I would say it maybe has about 25% chance of getting PL for that. 1890, this is another Carson City, kind of an AU, high AU, low mint state. Looks like it may have been dipped at some point. Pretty attractive there still. 1890, this is an S, probably about $125, $150 coin there once it gets graded. A little bit better than just sending in to the wholesaler with your bulk. And this is like really nice. 1885, this is Carson City. Cheek looks great. You know, he had it marked like 64 plus. I would tend to agree. Most people, you know, if they've got stuff on, you know, on their flips or 2x2s, they're pretty well overgraded. And I tend to be very conservative with my grading, but I would think that this would be an easy 64, probably a 30% chance of getting a 65. The reverse is exceptional, but that is a really nice coin there. Let's see, we'll do the gold and then we'll just chug through the slabs. I'm going to zoom out here just so we can see. All right, Victorian. This is a 5-coin set, and one individual came by and dropped these 2 off. It was like $27,000 in gold. You know, that's basically a few percentage back of melt at the time of recording. And really, it is just, I mean, it's tough to move this stuff. The wholesaler, I'll try to get this to focus here. Now, this is probably the sweet spot. But you know, a lot of this stuff, the big coins, I mean, this is a 5 sovereign. This has, what is it? try to get this. There we go. Better. 5 sovereign. This is like 1.2 ounces of pure gold. And, you know, at, you know, the coin is probably about $5,000. Not a lot of people want to spend that kind of money, unfortunately. And then it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sovereigns. This is probably the coolest. Again, when gold gets up pretty high, 1871 sovereign, and it has the different reverse on there. When gold goes up, not a lot of people buy the really expensive stuff, or something like this may have had a nice, reasonable premium. It doesn't really much anymore, but these sovereigns I will probably hold on to and try to get a little more out of, and probably ship these bigger sovereigns, but I may hold on to it for about a week or so as the video goes live. If you guys are interested, reach out to me. You know, something like this, I would basically sell it to you at spot, or maybe even like 1% back for something like this. You know, the sovereigns, you know, I'd be looking for gold value, or maybe like 10 bucks over that. But there is that set there. And then there's one more kind of crazy big set. This is very limited, and again, it's very tough to evaluate things like this because of, you know, very limited mintage. I'll just get far out zoom here. Try to get this open on camera, and it doesn't have a band or anything to keep it open, but, you know, nice set here. It's got the paperwork and everything, you know, breaks down all the coins, which helps. They're all 22 karat. It's the same diameter and thickness as the actual circulating coins, just in 22 karat gold. So it's a little weird, you know, in the US, you know, if we were doing the denominations in gold, you know, they might change the sizes, or, you know, make them so it's like makes sense what the size of the gold is. But, you know, like the 2 penny, the 2 pence here has more gold than the 5 pence. You know, the 50 pence, you know, has more gold than the 10 pence, you know, but not more than the, you know, the pound has less than the, so I don't know. It's just weird. They just made it 22 karat, kept the size the same. Obviously, the weight is going to be different, but made it a little difficult to calculate the information. But a lot of this stuff, I probably will just sell it at melt, or try to get melt out of it. It kind of sucks in this market that a lot of this kind of things, I know there's a lot of dealers that are refining this kind of stuff. You know, like I said, bigger coins, less of an issue in my eyes. But, you know, in reality, there's only like 2,000 of these made. You know, that sucks to see that, and I would rather see it go to a good home. Obviously, you know, I know most people can't cough up like 20 grand for the whole set. But even if I'm just selling, you know, one piece at a time, and they're nice coins. They got proof strikes. You know, you got the queen on there, and it's the exact same as the circulating coinage, the motifs on there. So I will probably try to sell this as, you know, price them individually, and then just let people pick. You know, maybe try that out for a week or so. But again, I don't want to risk too much. You know, gold goes down a couple $100 and I won't lose money, but I'd just make a little bit less. And when you're only making a few percent on this, something like this, it kind of evaporates quickly depending on the market change. The one thing that was really interesting was this set here. This is a gold Monde set, and I did actually pay him more for this set individually because there was some available for about $2,000, $2,000 to $2,600 raw, and then graded it was like $5 grand or something like that. Basically low mintage set, kind of fun here, very small gold, and I paid him like 20% over the gold value. So I will throw this on eBay probably for like $2,000, $1,900. See if anyone bites. Otherwise, you know, I will part it out. But it's nice. It's in this little case, and I'll probably just leave it with that. For someone to enjoy there, or if they want to get it graded, you know, there might be more upside there if it does sit around for a while. But let me know on the gold sets, guys. Is this something that you would buy? You know, I'm happy to buy it, but I'm doing this as a business. You know, would you want to buy, you know, something like this? Just kind of a random piece of gold, 22 karat. It's not pure, unfortunately, but you know, is that something you would want to have in your stack that's cool? Or would you just say, hey, I'll just hold out for a gold eagle or something? But let me know. It's always fun to hear you guys in the comments. I do read all the comments. All right, and let's dive into the graded world coins. Like I said, few US things in here that I did manage to get from him. We'll start with a few things that I'm going to keep for myself. Never really considered myself to be a world coin guy. I mean, I like world coins, but it was always just like, oh, that's cool from a collection, or that's, you know, find that in the bin for 20 cents or whatever. But some of these are more high end, and, you know, I'm trying to go beyond expand my palette, we should say. Also, still just kind of picking out things that are cool. East Africa, 1 Flora in 1920 on there. Frankfurt, 2 Thaler. This is like superb. Like this is, you know, I would love to see the US Mint, you know, make stuff like this. You know, granted, we don't have big circulating coins like this, but, you know, make medals, make, you know, it's like there's so much, try to get this to focus, so much detail in the hair and the oak leaves in her hair, you know, just the embroidery on her vest is just phenomenal. And like, just, it's beautiful. I mean, and that's what struck me. And this is an expensive coin, don't get me wrong. And I'm definitely I paid him up for it, and I'm not going to, you know, make the money back, because I'm going to keep it at least for the time being. But I mean, just like paper currency, it's like, it's artistry, and, you know, it's fun to see the US coins, but there's just so much else out there. This was kind of just goofy, not expensive. I don't even know what this denomination is, but it is, it's got a goofy little castle on there. Very small coin. 1 shilling, Shilsling, 1855. I think it's probably pretty low purity, just based on how kind of greenish it is. But again, kind of goofy, not terribly expensive there. I am kind of liking this early 1800s, 1700s colonial British coppers, things like that. That's pretty cool. From Ceylon. I like the elephant motif on there. Not high grade, not very expensive. This one was cool. This 1/6 Thaler. I've seen these before. You know, not terribly expensive as well. But again, motifs, things that I have not seen before. And I think this is probably hammered or milled. You guys can correct me in the comments. And I don't know, I've always wanted one of these. You know, they're kind of expensive to get them, you know, or raw for what it is, I suppose. But this, you know, opportunity presents itself. Really gorgeous coin here. MS65, of course. And yeah, I felt that I should just keep this one. And you can see the edges there, kind of like raw, I guess, or it's got some kind of texturing, but just really, really sweet. Cannot complain about something like that going into my collection. So just a few things that I decided to keep. A couple higher end coins. These are probably the biggest, most expensive coins here in the group. Again, it was like 140, 150 graded coins. A lot of this stuff was not crazy expensive. There was some like a couple hundred, but there was a lot in like the couple, you know, $50 to $100 range retail. But these definitely help drag the value up. And both of these are sold as the time of posting this video. I did post on Instagram. I think I mentioned in the last video, just high-level photo. I had people reach out. I gave them some pricing, and we kind of hashed it out, and they bought these two, as well as a few other ones in here that I have priced out. But Hawaii, AU58 CAC, of course, and maybe this is going to a YouTuber. You guys might see this in a YouTube video at some point from them. Kusha Collectibles. I hope he's fine mentioning it. I think this is probably for his personal collection. I'm not sure if he'll share it, but really, really nice coin. I won't disclose what he paid, but you know, kind of nice, dark, original, beautiful coin. It's the first time that I've had the opportunity to purchase a Hawaiian dollar, so very happy, and I know that he'll enjoy that going to his collection. Hopefully, maybe if he sells it, I hope he makes good money. And then this is a half ounce 1982 Panda. This is a key date here. Kind of tough to find first year issue for this kind of thing. And this is just going to go right to wholesaler. Basically just move this along. And, you know, this kind of thing is, you know, it does sell on eBay, but you got to mess with fees, and it would probably be a little bit of a slow mover on there. But happy to move that along there. And then we got, we'll start with a few US coins. I'm just going to show one group here, but these will be up on eBay. I have Washington Carver and Booker T. Washington commem sets. We're going to put them up as P, D, and S sets, all 65 or 66. I think we're going to probably start them out at wholesale, which is like gray sheet, and just let them go on auction. I'll let you guys know, and you'll see in the video when that goes live. But should be a good price for somebody to pick them up. There, you know, we've had these at shows before. Actually, some of these other ones in the last group I held on to, and I did complete some of these other sets. So they do sit around, they do kind of trickle out at, you know, in between gray sheet and CPG, but I figured I would just start them out at gray sheet. And again, if you guys are interested, reach out to me before these get on eBay, and I would just sell them right to you guys at gray sheet, move them along and let you guys get a good deal. And I'd like to, again, just sell the group. There's less than probably 7 sets here. But make it easy. It'd probably be, you know, $200 a set or something like that. I don't know. But basically whatever wholesale is, and you save us the fees and the hassle of shipping out multiple packages. But let us know on that, and that would be easy. World stuff, I think we will keep that on auction. And there was a lot of World War II German stuff. I'm not going to show that. That will be on eBay. Kind of tough with the monetization here on YouTube, so I'm not going to even mess or, you know, show a bit of it just for monetization issues. But we do have some German Empire, which I believe is fine. Here, this is cool. German. This is actually the second one. Come on, get to focus. Second medal that this gentleman had, and purchased it. The last one sold pretty quick, but this is commemorating the death of the Red Baron. Kind of interesting there. This is cool. This is German, I believe, like part of China or something prior to World War I starting, and but you know, something like this will be available online. I did price some of this stuff out, like I said, so it may not make it to the website or eBay, but if you're interested and it's not priced or spoken for, I will get you some numbers here. This was cool. German Empire military coinage. Not quite sure the story behind this. I will probably figure more out about it, but it is kopecks, which is a Russian. My guess is, you know, maybe they took over some territory during World War I and they issued this, but this is nice. I've got multiples of these, both multiple three kopecks. I've sold other 1s and 2s before, but nice. You know, 1, 2, and 3 kopecks there. Let's see. This was another kind of interesting thing that I'd not seen before. These are German. I believe they were issued in the ghetto during World War II, and you know, kind of a sad thing, but it is a piece of history here, and I do have multiples of these as well. Both multiple 5s and 10s. I think this is the only 20 that I have. But still kind of interesting here. They are aluminum. I'm kind of amazed that they got the grades that they did. You know, this AU58 still has some luster on it, but this 55, you know, is pretty sad looking. But just something different. And of course, you know, you buy the collection and you figure it out, and you give the customer a fair price. Couple more stacks here. German Empire. This was something I never, you know, I knew about the colonization of Africa, but There's a lot of coinage here, and you saw some from the other countries that were involved. But, you know, we have quarter rupee. A lot of these are really, really nice. High-grade pieces. I know the gentleman that passed away was working on a registry set for these. This one, I'm like shocked that it didn't get a PL, but really, really nice. Come on, get that to focus. Really, really nice PL surfaces on that. Pretty cool there. Another kind of nice higher grade half rupee. And, you know, I just pulled out a few nice examples of, you know, what I have. There's a lot more in there. There's going to be a lot metered out as the next couple of weeks go on. This is just, I think this is the highest grade one, MS65. Just super duper flashy. And these are coin alignment, I believe. So they flip this way, the same way. That's why I keep flipping them over the wrong way. This was cool color. Got some nice toning on the top there. Pretty attractive. And then the 2 rupees are pretty tough. Very low mintage. I believe they only made them in 93 and 94. But those are pretty cool there. And we got 2 more little stacks of fun world stuff. Let's see, here we go. A lot of people inquired about these Ethiopian coins. Seem to be in pretty high demand. It's not something that was ever really on my radar, but again, always a market for this kind of stuff. There you go. Got kind of a fun hat on the lion. This was fun. I like this one. Fun, hexagonal, nice color. It's not gold. It's, I believe this is brass, but this is World War II era, two franc. And that's from the Belgian Congo. Another Ethiopian coin. A little bit lower grade, a little bit more affordable. Different. I think that's a different lion on there. A slightly different lion. I did not notice that the first time, but still cool. That's why you go through and you look at the stuff. There. This was kind of fun. This is a key date for the Irish half crown series. They only minted like 500. Or they minted 1,000, and I think only 500 survived. I think this is probably one of the lowest grade examples I could find. But still kind of fun to learn about that kind of stuff. This is kind of cool. Isle of Man. This is a internment camp token. Kind of fun. I know a lot of people like this flag here with the kind of 3 legs on there. Kind of different there. And last stack, magic. Before we wrap up the video. All right. We got a few other US coins in here. Nice flashy Robinson, MS66. And again, stuff like this it's not terribly expensive, but I just don't see a lot of them. Can't complain about that. Nice kind of low grade Hawaii 50-cent piece. There we go. $50. Pretty nice there. Iceland 10 kroner. I believe this is a medal celebrating. It's like 1,000 years of, you know, something, or I'm not quite sure, but kind of cool there. This one kind of stuck out to me. Just being different. And a few more here. I know in the last video I had a couple of these, or I should say the last World Coin video, I had a couple of these elephants, 500 francs, and those sold pretty quickly. That is pretty sweet there. And this is, I believe, I don't think it's the Papal States, but it's like a state of Italy or something like that. And that is just another really attractive coin, like that last one that I showed you that I'm keeping. Just wonderful detailing on that. And the last one is a Norse medal, always pretty popular with those. Reason why I'm not keeping this is, even though it's high grade, it's got someone's thumbprints on there, which kind of suck, honestly. But what can you do? It's in the holder. Still attractive. And I'll probably price it down a little more. But if you guys are interested in this stuff, please let me know. I do have photographs of all the coins. You can let me know what you're interested in the video, or if you're looking for something specific, and I can price it out for you. But that wraps it up. We will dive into the giveaway right now. All right, everybody, so let's get into that giveaway. And I do want to thank you guys. We hit 2,500 subscribers. We are 500 subscribers away from giving away 1 gram of gold. Kind of a big thank you for all the support there. And for today's giveaway, we're doing this kind of fun, unique, commemorative $2 coin from Canada, certified by NGC. They're kind of interesting. I had not seen one of those before, so please like, comment, subscribe to be entered. You can reach out here through the links in the drop down here on the landing page of YouTube, as well as the description in each of the videos here. As promised in the beginning of the video here, we're starting to upload stuff. We started with some US stuff here. We've got P, D, and S sets for Washington Carver and Booker T. Washington. We're starting them out at wholesale for you guys, just trying out some different avenues to move material. Besides the website, potentially bring in some new customers there. A lot of other odds and ends on YouTube as well, so check that out. Pardon me, on eBay as well, so check that out there. Products on eBay, a lot of you guys took advantage of the Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales, so thank you for that. I really appreciate all the support through the website as well. Follow us on Instagram here at Quigg Coins and Bullion and Quigg Jewelry for a lot of behind the scenes and your jewelry needs here. You can see the set here. I posted it today, and basically offering it at 99% of melt. If someone is interested in that, please reach out. I'm happy to part it out for folks that are interested there. And jewelry, of course, please check this out there as well for some high quality secondhand jewelry. And let's grab the comments from the last video here. Drop these in here. And grab the comments. 33 comments. Thank you, everybody. All right, Edwin, you are the winner. Please reach out and claim your prize. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.